swallowed hard, keeping the saliva down only by conscious effort. His mouth now was drier than ever before. He damned himself for shivering visibly. The headache that had begun as merely annoying hours before was a growing, insistent pressure behind his eyes. Now the customs agent was examining him more closely. She suspects something. Well, let her look. They can't find what I'm hiding. No way, man.
Sir, you don't look well. Would you like to sit down? Could we get you some water?
Ibrahim opened his mouth, intending to decline the offer, when he felt the sudden rumbling in his bowels. He contracted his sphincter, desperately needful of a lavatory. He turned away, not sure where to go, realizing it was already too late. He turned back to Agent Asamba, beyond embarrassment at confiding his crisis to a strange woman, an infidel woman. He felt the first liquid tracking down the back of his legs, squeezed harder, and failed. The eruption announced itself to everyone within 20 feet. St. Edmund's Hospital, London. Dr. Carolyn Paget Smith resembled a practitioner of neither medicine nor immunology, though she possessed a master's degree in the latter. Tall and slender, at 41 she could have passed for 35, and it took most of her male colleagues a while to get their egos around the fact that a woman with large violet eyes and high cheekbones knew more about infectious diseases than most PhDs. None would have been surprised to learn that she had paid much of her college tuition by modeling. Few realized that beneath her stylish clothes she had the muscular agility of a passionate rock climber. CPS had planned on grading some postgraduate papers, but the call from the Home Office changed all that. Because she had been on the short list for notification in the event of a communicable disease crisis, she was summoned to St. Edmund's, a well-equipped teaching hospital of 1960s vintage. Paget Smith was met by a security officer she knew slightly, Richard Eversole Carruthers. She knew him to be professionally competent, but, like too many coppers of her acquaintance, prone to situational ethics. "Hello, Mr. Carruthers. What have we got?"
"Nice to see you too, Paget."
Carruthers had long since abandoned hope of getting anywhere with Carolyn Paget Smith, burdened as she was with conventional morality and an attentive husband. Forsaking all others, that sort of thing. Pity.
"The boy arrived yesterday on the PIA flight from Islamabad. He collapsed at the customs station and was brought here because it's closest to the M4 access to Heathrow."
"Ebola?"
"Likely that, or Marburg, I'm told."
CPS muttered some fervent Anglo-Saxon monosyllables, none encumbered with a fifth letter. Then she focused her attention. "I shall need to see a blood sample to confirm the virus." Carruthers nodded in his curt fashion.
"Right. They're ready for you in the lab."
Paget Smith pulled on a gown, mask, and rubber gloves before stepping to the microscope with the blood in the high-quality plastic tube. She appreciated the caution. Glass could shatter if dropped, possibly spreading a deadly virus. CPS focused the eyepiece more sharply and looked into the microscopic world. She felt a slight chill run down her spine, as if she had locked eyes with a cobra. A layman would have seen a riot of cells, hardly recognizable one from another, though the sick ones outnumbered the healthy. But Dr. Paget Smith immediately discerned the dying cells, discolored, pale, swollen. Some had already burst apart. Something had caused them to explode. Paget Smith looked up at the lab director. "Filovirus?" The man nodded.
"I'll show you the microphotographs. We're also running tests to see if the patient's blood reacts positively in other samples. We should know before long."
Paget Smith returned to the lobby, ordering her priorities to coordinate with Carruthers. "Who had contact with the patient?" she asked.
"Well, the customs agents, of course, and the ambulance attendants, probably some others."
"I shall like to see all of them."
"Of course. You can start with the point of contact, Agent Patricia Samba."
"Give me the short version first."
"Well, she seems a reliable observer. At first she suspected this so-called Ibrahim fellow was merely nervous because he was hiding something. Then, with the sweating and chills, she thought he had malaria or a bad fever."
CPS nodded slowly.